First look at Gem Knights. As we all know, it's coming in the very next pack, as Brilliant Fusion on the latest ban list went from 1 to 3. Now, why did I not even bother reacting to this ban list? Well, Gianna told me that a fake ban list came out with no hits, so I said, you know what, just spoil it to me. I don't even care to make a video. That's where that went. This will be that replacement video where we're going to do some gameplay of Gem Knights and also look into what the newer cards are going to be. The first thing is that this is a continuous spell, and we know that currently in the meta, Detonator is detonating all over people, popping continuous spells, traps, or field spells. So there's no way that this could be good, right? We're going to be looking into that. Block Dragon also going from 1 to 3. So let's take a quick gander at this, as we're also going to be playing against Ryzeal myself. Brilliant Fusion, Gem Knights, and we'll go into the TCG stats here. We can also look at the tier list to see how well the deck has been doing. This is a turn 2 deck, by the way. If you're interested in a deck like Tenpai, this will be another one where you're going to choose to go second all the time. As you can see on the tier list in the last month, it's not that bad, but it's not that good either. If we look at the OCG, where's Gem Knight? You know, kind of there, almost 1% of the meta. Let's now check out the deck type breakdown. TCG, we got lots of turn 2 board breaker cards here. Lightning Storm, Harpy Feather Storm, even using Sails Ban. If you look at the OCG, they are, looks like they're playing this a bit differently. They're not playing all the turn 2 board breakers. Look at the OCG, we even have Fiendsmith. So I think that they're focusing more so on possibly going first for the OCG. Or if we click on the TCG, where they even have Shadow Fusion, they mostly just want to go second and break the board. I'm going to be playtesting with the board breaker version of the deck, and then when it actually comes out, maybe I'll switch on over to going first, as it's going to require additional engines if you want to play it that way, is what it seemingly is going to be the situation with it. Now, let's see, what are the new cards? We have new. Well, the Armadillo's not new. Let's take a quick look at these cards. Gem Knight Nipirum. On summon, add a Gem Knight card from your deck to your hand. Okay, and then during your main phase, you can additionally normal summon. And then if this card is sent from the hand or deck to the graveyard, this could be by cost, effect, this does not matter, but it's not from the field. You get to send a card from your hand to the graveyard by effect, not cost. And if you do, special summon this card. And then we have the Gem Knight Dispersion. Activate one of these effects, but can only use each effect once per turn. Fusion Summon, and if you have a Gem Knight Fusion in your graveyard, you could use up to 2 non-rock Gem Knights from your deck or extra deck. So ideally, we would want a Gem Knight Fusion in graveyard to even activate this. Add a Gem monster from your deck or banishment to your hand. What else do we have here? Gem Knight Hollow Core. Send a Gem Knight normal or a Gem Knight Fusion from your deck to the graveyard. This will, I assume, be very important for the dispersion to get the Gem Knight Fusion in graveyard from your deck. Or otherwise, if you have the Gem Knight Fusion in your hand, you just activate it and then it'll be in the graveyard to then use the dispersion with, to then special summon this card from your hand. And then this effect is nuts. This is going to be your anti-Nibiru effect, or any problematic monster effects from the opponent. When the opponent activates any card or effect, not just a monster effect, and you control a Gem Knight Fusion, you could banish 3 Gem Knight cards from your graveyard, including this card. So this is a graveyard negate the effect. Then all Gem Knights gain 1,000 attacks. They're going to have to think twice about even wanting to give you the opportunity to activate this card from the grave to negate something. And then this new fusion, during the main phase, you could send this card to the graveyard as a quick effect, special summon up to 3 non-rock. It being quick, meaning it's going to dodge Imperm or Veiler 100%. That is great. Similar to Fiendsmith Requiem being pretty much impervious to those effects. Summon 3 non-rock, so different names in your extra deck and or graveyard, ignoring their summoning conditions. Also, you cannot special summon from the extra deck for the rest of the turn except fusion monsters. When your Gem Knight Fusion monster is destroyed by battle, while this card is in the graveyard, you could special summon this card. If we're going second, you could just crash your smaller Gem Knight into their monster, and then you're going to have that 3k body back out in the field. And with that quick little overview, let's hop into some gameplay. So this is just going to be testing against the NPC, and I'm not an expert at the deck. This is just going to be my first look at the deck. I've been seeing a lot of the OCG player, I should say TCG players, playing Sails Ban, and I was reading in the Discord a mad lad who topped a regional saying that Sails Ban was really good against Detonator, because Detonator is going to be popping your continuous spells. You have your continuous spell, Brilliant Fusion, continuous spell, Scatter Fusion, so just turn off the Detonator, or we'll get rid of Detonator with Ultimate Slayer, or we will negate the Detonator with Droplet, or we'll take control of the Detonator if they don't have a plugin to pop it to then dodge the Triple Tactics talent. Let's now play against Ryzeal at Gem Knight. Just going to speed up there turn 1. Super fast, ×5 speed. If it was unsped up, it'll be like this, but we don't want to sit here forever. Dugaris, draw no more hand traps. Clips Twins, send with node, trigger, reborn, detonate mate. Alrighty, what do we have here? This will be able to search our deck by setting a continuous fusion from our deck, which will then get popped with a detonator if we activate. The Hollow could send a Gemini Fusion from the deck. Ultimate Slayer is going to be great. It's going to deal with the detonator and also negate the cross. Then we can make plays from there. Let's do it. Slay, send targets, trigger aggregates, negate the cross. Now, we're not in the clear yet. He could have good hand traps. Let's start off with the Hollow Core, right? Yeah, let's activate, send the Gemini Fusion, summons in defense, and then let's normal summon the Neprim. May negate this with a Veiler. Yep, there you go. Sure. Now, I could go for a Link too. We could look at his hand first. Let's return back. Look at the hand, and he's got 2 Ash Blossoms. What the hell? Okay, I guess let's get rid of your triple, triple tactics. Get out of here. Oh boy. So what is he going to want to Ash? I guess he's going to Ash the Link 2. If we summon the Link 2, it activates a search. And then we're dealing with the back row card, unless he imperms this. Negate. Sure. And we could activate the secondary effect to Fusion Summon, but generally we want to have cards banished before we activate it. Gemini Fusion can add back to the hand. Let's now activate the Quartz while they control a monster. We're going to set... What is better here? During your main phase, if your opponent controls a monster, Fusion Summon 1 non-rock Gemini from your extra deck using monsters from your deck as material. Or... Fusion Summon a Gemini Fusion from your extra using monsters your deck as Fusion, but it does not have to be a non-rock. This being a non-rock, what are the rocks? The rocks are the good ones. The rocks are the big Gem Knights. All the non-rocks are the crappy, less than level 9s. So we want to set a Brilliant Fusion. All right, this is it. Brilliant Fusion. Fusion Summon into... This will make it so we're going to be locked out of being able to make non-fusions, but I'm pretty much done with that. We're going to send the Quartz, the Neprim, the Hollow Core. The Hollow Core can negate anything now. So whatever that back row card is, we got the negate. The Neprim that will activate, I guess you want to put this on the lower chain link because the Quartz will add a card from engraved back to the hand if you always want that option. Quartz, make sure to not add back the card that you're trying to add to your hand. To summon onto the field, that is. We add the Hollow Core. Then we discard the Hollow Core to resolve the effect of the Neprim. And now we could quick effect tribute off. What is this doing? If we could send to boost his attack up to 3,000. Okay. Gemini Fusion could banish a card. Let's activate. Summon from the extra deck. This gives us the ability to attack more than once. This could pop a card in the field by sending a Gemini Fusion to the graveyard. So this will allow us to perform additional normal summoner set, but I don't think that's really going to work out. I guess let's do the Ruby also. It gives like an attack boost. I don't think it really matters here too much. We're going to pretty much win no matter what we summon. That's what I'm thinking. All right. Now, we are going to Gemini Fusion to our hand by banishing away the... I guess we'll banish that. And let's discard to pop a card, face-up card in the field. We could take out the field spell. And this is more than hard once returned, right? We're going to activate the Gemini Fusion again. We're going to be banishing the... I guess the Fusion will be returned back to the extra deck, right? Okay. Gemini Fusion. And now, let's activate the Quartz to fuse into our Lady Brilliant Diamond. We're going to use the Banish and a card engrave. I guess we want more than one Hollow Core. We're going to return the Neprim maybe just back in the deck. Not really sure what the best one to return back is. Boom. So a big question is, Tenpai has Transcendent Dragon to turn off the battle phase. What does Gem Knight have? Just this. This is, Your opponent activates a card or effect, you get to negate. That's going to be pretty much our assurance to, turn off a Nibiru or anything random in the battle phase, maybe a Bestial trying to stop you from going for a game. That is what I'd be thinking. And then we could use the Brilliant Diamond, the Ruby. I could copy the effect of Ruby if I want to. We could just tribute off the Quartz just to have a full field of craziness. We'll summon you. I don't think there's anything good to copy in Graveyard with this, is there? No. Now, if I wanted to, I could tribute off to gain the attack. Boost, super huge, 5,200 attack. That is crazy. And then that's it, we got game. I guess maybe I wanted to have the light one. So I make a second attack during each battle phase. If the monster destroys a monster by battle, inflict damage to your opponent equal to the monster's original attack. That could have been a lot more damage. Why can't my Brilliant Diamond attack? What is wrong with this? Special summon. Must first be summoned with above fusion. Can only once per turn send a Gem Knight. If you do special summon. Did the link made it not being able to attack? Could not attack directly this turn. So we should have attributed this card off. Okay, so the Brilliant Fusion turns the monster to 0, but it has the ability to put it back to its full attack. And then the link ensures that you cannot attack direct with that monster. Okay, I'm learning. It's just a first look at the deck. Let's play against them again. Go second. Speed up their turn 1. We have no hand traps because I don't want to be interrupting their turn 1 whatsoever. But when the deck actually comes out, we're going to put Maxi in the deck for sure. Auto D, Reborn, send with Node, attach. All right, hit me with the C. Maxi hand traps you have to be dealing with potentially. You have Shadow Fusion, Ultimate Slayer. Ultimate Slayer is going to completely mess up the Eclipse Twins. This cooks them. If they don't have the Star Liege, they're done. Damn. So we're just going to deal with the hand traps, and that's it. So if you're sick of Raziel, this deck with all these anti-Raziel cards may be the way. Let's negate the cross. Detach Baguska. Sure. And he did not activate any monster effect in our main phase, so we can't triple tactics talent. Oh boy, if he Veilers, I could droplet dodge. The Shadow Fusion's not activatable anymore because his monster's not from the extra deck. What the heck? It's from the grave, summoned off Eclipse Twins. I guess I should have tried to summon that first before the Ultimate Slayer. Is that even correct to do? If we thrust a spell into our hand, let's see if he ashes it, yes? Yes, he does. He ashes. Whoops, I'm not trying to surrender here. The dual log's in a different spot here. Okay. But now I could triple tactics talent. And now I could rip the card out of their hand. Look at the hand. That card is going to be the Veiler. Get that Veiler out of here. Goodbye, Veil. And then we have to full combo with the Neprim. Let's see. Neprim. Is this full combo? Well, if I knew what I was doing, it for sure would be. Hollow Core, get the Gem Knight Fusion in Graveyard, and then the Link monster could add this, which could then use the deck. I think that is the correct play, right? Quartz could also set a continuous spell directly from your deck, and then you can use the Gem Knight Fusion to get the Hollow Core and the Quartz in Graveyard to then add the Hollow Quartz in the hand. I think that this is actually better only when we're going second. Let's try that because of Brilliant Fusion. Otherwise, we would go for the Hollow Core. This just seems like too much value. Brilliance. And whatever we summon, it's going to be 0 attack, but can attack directly. And I guess the one that can't attack directly we want to summon this with. So we're going to go into that. We're going to get the Hollow Core in Graveyard, the Quartz which will add back, the Neprim. I think we didn't trigger Neprim yet. Let's go. And let's Neprim plus add back the Hollow Core. Hollow Core to our hand. And let's send to the graveyard. We don't need the Shadow Fusion anymore. So reborn back the Neprim. And then let's Hollow Core. Send the Gem Knight Fusion. Very nice. And let's immediately link to allow the Hollow Court to negate any hand trap. Hand trap, negate mate. Perfect. On summon, searching for the Dessa Dissipation. What is it? Dispersion. With the Gemini Fusion and Graveyard, we could use it to fuse. Let's fuse it up. Fuse. We want to fuse into this one, right? Is this not being able to attack directly, or that was, no, the other one. So I guess I go into this one, right? Master Diamond. Let's use the deck and extra deck. We can copy the effect of the Topaz for a double attack. And beyond that, we just want to get more cards into the graveyard. I have to use the fields. Why? This says 3 Gem Knight monsters. What is this? Use monsters from your hand or field up to 2 can be used. Okay, there has to at least be 1 from the field. Sure. Nice. And then we can add back the Gem Knight Fusion by banishing a card. Let's banish you. And then we could discard it to change the attack of the Brilliant back to its full attack. Boost. Damn. And then we could Gem Knight Fusion, add back again. Let's banish the Quartz. Add back. We don't have a good way to use this anymore. Now we want to use, we'll use this effect to copy. Now it's got a double attack. Valor. I don't think I should negate that. That would be a bad negate. I can, though. Let it get negated. That's fine. Now this, I believe we will negate if he tries to stop. He does not. So we're going to use the entire banish pile. Return them back. And then we go for our triple fusion play. Triple summon from the extra deck. Triple summon. The one that pops a face-up card in the field. The one that, if sent to the graveyard, is going to return a card in the field back to the hand. The one that does an additional normal summon. Who's the biggest attack? 27? 27 it is. 1. A 2. And a 3. So the Aquamarine is quite interesting. It has the ability, if sent from the field to the graveyard, which we could do by battle or by effect, to return a card back. So if I wanted to damage step the Aquamarine to return the monster back, we could do that instead. Let's get rid of the cross. And then everything can attack directly here. So we're in a good spot. I could Brilliant Diamond summon a monster from the extra deck, which you could tribute this off and then it returns it back. But if I want to do the cheeky little damage step play, we're going to do that instead. We're going to then summon maybe the Ruby. Wait, Ruby's small. I guess we'll just summon this one. It really does not matter. I'm just trying to think of interesting plays. Okay, and then we could add the Gemini Fusion back if we wanted to. And then let's Aquamarine it up. Boom. So this could be good for returning a detonator back to the extra deck. Oh, this triggers. What the? Holy moly. Only triggers off of battle. Let's read this. Your Gem Knight's destroyed by battle. So you even more so want to do that effect. Wow. And mind you, we have a negate. If they do anything, activate a card or effect while you control a Gem Knight Fusion, banish 3 Gem Knights to, including this card, to also give them 1,000 attack when you negate the effect that you're negating. Damn. I think this deck's fun. I mean, obviously, I got to test this against Malice, but against Ryzeal, this was a fun time. A good alternative to Tempai. It's going to be as good as Tempai. I can't say that. And then also, what about the turn 1 versions of the deck? Well, from my understanding, people were trying to play it with Paradise Smasher, which is already banned. And let's go back to the deck list, and I guess this will be a wrap. So there you go. My first look at Gem Knights. The deck is surprisingly fun. There's still a lot more for me to learn, but even from what I already know, I'm obviously good enough to be a brain-dead Raziel player, which was the computer. There's some interesting situations where if they have the Star Liege, then if you have Ultimate Slayer, it's not going to be targetable, but maybe you could at least target the Star Liege if they detach off the duo, if you trick them to negate something else instead. So this is pretty good. The red reboot's banned in the TCG. Triple Tactics is limited to 1 in the TCG. Could also, I know someone in the comments could be like, what the heck, DK, you didn't play Block Dragon? Well, Block Dragon is unbanned in the OCG, and there's still not every single player playing this. So it does not mean it's an auto-include, but probably for the turn 1 version of the deck, which I do then have to further learn how that works, this you would want to include. Otherwise, go second Gem Knights. Pretty fun. Thank you for watching the video. If you enjoyed this casual type first look, please support this and it will tell me to make more stuff like this. All right, we are out. Let's go.